All right, guys, we're just going to deal with shadows. Sorry. So I wanted to post a video explaining what I meant by saying Nick Aldis was 100% correct when he said that it was the fans that did this to Tim Storm. And I agree, it was. So, a couple of things. One, I'm not a professional video online person, so we've got some glitches, we've got some bounces. I'm driving, so sorry. Number two, I don't need any comments about, oh my God, this is a heel turn by Santa Claus. Okay, first of all, it's not a heel turn. I've been in Nick Aldis's camp for forever, I guess you could say. But it's a truth. It's a truth telling by Santa Vol. Claus is my cousin, so it's not a heel turn by Santa Claus because one, it's not a heel turn, and two, I'm not Santa Claus. Why am I Santa Vol? Why do I wear orange? I may make another video later to explain that, depending on how this goes. But right now, all you need to know is that I am an avid University of Tennessee sports fan. I attend every University of Tennessee home football game. Some games on the road. I've been to a couple of bowl games. I will be at the Gator Bowl here in a couple of weeks. I will have my orange on. If you see me at a game, say hello. Let's get a picture. If you ever get a chance to go to Knoxville, if you've never been to a game in Neyland Stadium, it is a spectacle unlike any other. Take that chance. I'll be outside gate 21. Find me. Let's chat a little bit, and we'll take a picture and whatever. So, why do I say that Nick Aldis is correct when he says that you did this to the fans? So let's go back and look at the entire time of Nick Aldis's now 2 title reigns. Fall of 2017, Tim Storm is NWA champion, and no offense to Tim Storm or any of the men who have held the title prior to Nick Aldis, but basically from the period shortly before Sean threw the belt in the trash, the franchise, Shane Douglas, I said Sean, I apologize. From the time Shane Douglas threw the NWA 10 pounds of gold in the trash and declared the NWA dead until 2017, when, thank God for William Patrick Corgan, till 2017 when Billy purchased the NWA. I won't say it was dead, but it was not anything like the NWA that so many of us grew up with. It was not the major wrestling promotion that it had once been. And again, no offense to any of the champions that held the title during that time. No offense to any of the champs that held the title during the early days of TNA. Some great men held it, but it was just not viewed in the same light as it was until William Patrick Corgan and Dave Lagana came along, started the 10 Pounds of Gold series, and Nick Aldis in the winter of 2017, 2018, Nick Aldis beats Tim Storm to become the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, and he begins his Aldis Crusade. At this point, he sees the vision that Billy and Dave have for the company, and he is eager to be I don't want to get too southern, but he is eager to carry that mantle. He's eager to be the lead horse, if you will. His Aldis Crusade takes him to various countries, takes him to various continents, takes him all over the world, and everywhere he goes, he's fighting, defending his title against the top level of each territory, truly like it was back in the day. Heck, he and Colt Cabana wrestled in China. You know how many times the world's title's been defended in China? Once. Nick Aldis and Colt Cabana in China. So the man has laid everything out. Yet, do the fans appreciate it? For the most part, no. He's got a select group of fans that understand the business, and then you've got the majority of the fans that watch the business. What's the difference? Let's look at a couple of the major matches that have taken place while Nick Aldis has been champ. Let's go to the American Dream, the baby boy Cody, him and the Young Buck, their vision, all in Chicago. If Billy doesn't agree to allow Nick to defend the NWA World Championship, All In has sold 10,000 seats in 45 seconds or whatever happened, and you don't have a title match for your main event. Am I saying Nick Aldis made All In? I'm not saying he didn't. He walked into that building 10,000 strong. Do you know who he had with him in his corner during the match? No one. What happened during that match? For reasons that have never been explained, Brandy decided she was going to insert herself into the match. That would be Mizra's, American Dream's baby boy Cody's wife, Brandy Rhodes. So, the huge point in the match that everyone wants to point to and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe Nick did that. Cody is on the mat. Nick's on the top rope getting ready to deliver an elbow drop and roll out of the ring with his title, and Brandy's laying on top of Cody. What does Nick do? Jumps off the top rope, drops an elbow on Brandy. And the crowd lost their mind. Let me ask you this. Let's say Tom Brady's about to get sacked, and Giselle runs out onto the field to try to stop him, and J.J. Watt tackles Giselle. Is that J.J. Watt's fault because she got between him and the quarterback? No. She put herself in a place she shouldn't be in. Same thing with Brandy. She had no business being in the ring. Wasn't personal, strictly business. I'm dropping an elbow. You get in front of my elbow, you might get hit. Due to the interference, Cody was able to upset Nick and win the belt. Fast forward to NWA 70 in Nashville. Very wisely, Nick announces he's got an insurance policy. And he brings out Camille. At this point, no one had seen Camille in the NWA. She comes out and she seconds Nick to the ring. Cody, of course, has Brandy. During this match, at no point did Camille interfere with the match until Brandy decided she wanted to try to interfere in the match. Do you see a pattern here? Nick is not the one that is blatantly breaking the rules. In a best 2 out of 3 falls, both ladies are sent to the back of the ringside area, thrown out, if you will. Nick wins an incredible match, and you can hear about 10 people cheer for the new champ. The entire arena is silent. But before we got to that match, there was another match held in Nashville in June of that year. Nick's fighting Flip Gordon because Flip's trying to get on the All In card. First of all, Flip Gordon, who'd you beat? Honestly. Flip Gordon versus Nick Aldis, Nashville's Municipal Auditorium in June of that year. Nick pins the young man. Clean pin, but the world's worst referee, Fat Boy Todd Sinclair, He is naughty list for life. He's no Baby Hepner. He doesn't see that Flip had his foot on the ropes. So Cody, who's at the announce table, has to get his nose in Nick's business. And he comes in and says, no. You've got to restart the match. At which point, Sinclair, I don't know what authority Cody has in Ring of Honor at this time, restarts the match. Causing Nick to end up putting a cloverleaf on poor Flip. Flip literally passes out from the pain. Could have injured the young man and ruined his career because Cody had to steal a little spotlight. Every match, it seems, something new happens. Everybody wants to think that there's a conspiracy with Billy and Nick. As I told someone, I was front row for the pop-up event back in January of this year when James Storm claims there was a conspiracy. The only conspiracy was they changed the rules in the middle of the match. Storm is counted out. Aldis is counted out. The best case you're going to have is a double count out. The best case for Storm you're going to have is a count out, and you still don't get the belt. So Billy stops the referee's count and then lets the match continue. That's not the rules that we agreed to fight by. Nick still overcame it. Nick still won the belt. The crowd still booed. Every time Nick wins, he's overcoming the odds and the crowds are booing. Even you'll see a match a little bit later in the NWA Power tapings. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the rules of it changes also. What I'm saying is, if you treat someone with disrespect long enough, if you revile, detest, boo, and hate someone long enough, they're going to turn into what you see them as. Nick Aldis hasn't changed. Nick Aldis is what the fans want him to be. Nick Aldis is very much like my cousin Claus. I know a lot of people don't believe in Santa Claus. Let me tell you something. He's real. To steal a line from Kurt Angle, he's damn real. But the reason he stops coming to your house as you get older is because you want him to stop. If you don't believe in him, guess what? He's not going to believe in you. Same goes for the national treasure and the world's champion. If you don't want Nick, Nick doesn't want you. He has done everything cleanly. Talk to some old folks that grew up watching the Four Horsemen and how they ran over people. We'll talk about rule breaking. Heck, I was in high school and I saw Eddie Gilbert run over Jerry Lawler with a car in Memphis one Saturday morning. Nick pales in comparison to breaking rules like that. He is a consummate champion. He dresses on a level that may be even above the Nature Boy, and he carries himself with class. Nick Aldis deserves better, and the fans deserve what they get. This is your fault. You did cause this. Maybe if at some point over the past 2 years you'd shown a little appreciation to Nick for what he was doing, for how he was defending things, things would be different. Now, it's strictly business, and the NWA is just going to have to deal with it.